Hello everyone. Today we will start with the new top unit 3 which is of 12 marks, that is communication standards and its protocols. So in unit number 3 we are going to study about the modes of communication: serial, parallel, synchronous, asynchronous communication, RS-232 standard, serial communication protocols, I2C, CAN, USB, SPI, SSP, features of advanced serial protocol, IRDA, Bluetooth, Zigbee. So these all topics are we are going to study in unit number 3. So in today's lecture we are going to study about the modes of communication: serial, parallel, synchronous, asynchronous communication. So we will start with the serial parallel communication. So in serial versus parallel communication, in parallel communication 8 or 4 lines are required. To transfer data, multiple bits are transferred at a time, whereas in serial communication, data is sent one bit at a time on a single line. In parallel communication, it is preferred for short distance communication, whereas in serial, it is preferred for long distance communication. In parallel communication, it is costly as more resources are required. In serial communication, comparatively cheaper. The speed of data transfer is high in parallel communication. In serial communication, the speed is slow. The examples of parallel communication are SPI, I2C, UART. In serial communication, the example is PCI. So next is modes of communication. Modes of serial communication. So in mode of serial communication, there is simplex, half duplex, full duplex. These are the models of simplex, half duplex and full duplex communication. So we will study the serial communication can be asynchronous, synchronous. Synchronous communication, synchronous methods transfer a block of data at a time. Their events are referenced to a clock. For example, SPI bus, I2C bus. In asynchronous communication, asynchronous methods transfer a single byte at a time. There is no clock in asynchronous communication. The bytes are separated by start and stop bits. For example, UART. Now we will see the basics. To support the serial communication, special interfaces are built in the microcontroller. The microcontrollers use special IC chips called UART. UART is nothing but Universal Asynchronous Receiver Transmitter, and USART is Universal Synchronous Asynchronous Receiver Transmitter. So 8051 chip has a built-in UART. So there is a inbuilt UART in 8051 chip. Now we will see data framing in asynchronous serial communication. Data is transmitted in zeros and ones. To have a sense of synchronization between transmitter and receiver and to make sense of data, transmitter and receiver agree on a set of rules which is known as protocol. So which describes how the data is packed, how many bits constitute a character, and when the data begins and ends. So these are some of the rules which we call as a protocol. Start and stop bit. So in this, each character is placed between start and stop bit. This is called as framing. So the character is placed between start and stop bit, which is called as framing. Start bit is always one bit, one stop bit, and can be 1, 2 or 1.5 bits. So start bit is always 1 bit, but stop bit can be 1, 2 or 1.5 bit. In 8051 serial port, when there is no transmission, the TXT line is held high, which is called as mark. So when TXT, that is transmission line, is held high, so this is called as mark. Start bit is always a 0, that is low. Stop bit is 1, that is high. LSB is sent out first. We will see the framing of ASCII character A. So this is the framing format of ASCII character A. This is the mark start bit, then LSB bit 1 0 0 0 0 0 1, that is D0, D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, D6 and D7. Then next is top bit. Okay, then goes out last, then space. So the transmission begins with a start bit followed by LSB D0, then rest of the bits until MSB D7, and finally one stop bit which indicates the end of the character. So when there is no transfer, the signal is high, which is referred as a mark. So when there is no transfer of data, the signal will be high, which is referred to as a mark. Now assume when that we are transferring a text file of ASCII characters using one stop bit. So we have a total of 10 bits for each character. So this gives 25% overhead, that is each 8-bit character with an extra 2 bits, that is start bit and stop bit. So in some systems, in order to maintain data integrity, the parity bit of the character byte is included in the data frame. So UART chips allow programming of the parity bit for odd, even and no parity options. Next topic we will see RS-232 standard. So RS-232 is a recommended standard 232. So it was set by Electronics Industrial Association in 1960. So in RS-232, 1 is represented by -3 to -25 volt, and 0 bit is represented by +3 to 25 volt, making -3 to +3 undefined. So the standard was set along before the event of TTL logic, that is transistor logic family. Its input and output voltage levels are not compatible. So microcontroller system must use voltage converters such as MAX232 to convert TTL logic level to RS-232 voltage level. So voltage converter are used, such as here the voltage converter is nothing but a MAX232. So it converts whatever the input is coming from the your program, that voltage is converted by TTL, that is to convert TTL logic level to RS-232 voltage. Then that voltage is the standard voltage which is given to our microcontroller chip. So this MAX232 will convert TTL logic level, okay, from RS-232 to the RS-232 voltage level and vice versa. MAX232 IC chips are commonly referred to as a line drivers. We can also commonly referred as a line drivers. Now RS-232 supports both DB25 and DB9 pin connector. Here we can see DB9 pin connector. So the upper are the 5 pins and then lower are the 4 pins. So totally there are the 9 pins. So pin number 1 is the data carrier detect. Same way, pin number 2 receive data, pin number 3 transmitted data, pin number 4 data terminal ready, DTR, 5th is signal ground, 6th is data set ready, 7th is request to send, then 8 number pin is clear to send, and 9 number pin is ring indicator. So this is the description of from pin number 1 to 9. Now we will see the function of each pin. So handshaking in RS-232. The current terminology classifies data communication equipment as DTE, which refers to terminal that and computer that send and receive data. DC is a data communication equipment, refers to communication equipment such as modem. So the simplest connection between PC and microcontroller requires a minimum of 3 pins, TXT, RXT and ground. So there are male and female connector, in which one of the transmitter of male is connected to receiver, female of receiver, then one of the female receiver is connected to the first of the male receiver, male transmitter. Next we will see the handshaking signals in RS-232. There we will see the functions of each of the pins. DTR, that is the data terminal ready. So when this terminal is turned on, it sends off signal DTR to indicate that it is ready for communication. This is the signal of DTR when it is ready. Next is the DSR. So DSR is data set ready, which when DC is turned on, that is data communication equipment is turned on and has gone through self test, so it asserts the DCR to indicate that it is ready to communicate. So then next is RTS, request to send. So when DT device has byte to transmit, so it will assert RTS signal that modem will signal that the modem that it has a byte of data to transmit. So next is CTS, clear to send. So when the modem has room for storing the data, it is to receive. So it sends out signal CTS to DT to indicate that it can receive the data now. So in both ways, transmitter and receiver, they will give the signal that data is transmitted or it is ready for reception, or when the reception is ready, it will send the signal to transmitter that you can send the data. So in this way, they are transmitting the signals by using all the following signals. Next is DCD, data carrier detect. The modem asserts signal DCD to inform the DT that a carrier has been detected, that contact between it and the other modem is established. So in this way, the connection is established between transmitter and receiver. This is male and female. RI, ring indicator. An output from modem and an input to a PC indicates that a telephone is ringing. So some tone will be generated, whether it is transmitted or received between the modem and the PC. So it goes on and off in synchronous with the ringing sound, which indicates data has been transmitted or received.